Welcome back to Snooker Brain. Today we're going to take a look at a fantastic break by Ronnie O'Sullivan. He clears the table in this break, and it's particularly demanding considering how the black is tied up for the entire break and how the pink is tied up for most of this break. So Ronnie ends up clearing this table mostly by using the blue ball, and a couple of times he's on the wrong side of the blue, and also a couple of times he has to go into that cluster of reds. And he also creates a plant, which he makes, and basically clears the table with masterful execution. I thought I would just take a look at it so we can see how incredible his talent is.
Seven.
You can see Ronnie playing this awkward pot here. He's bridging over about 4 reds here and the pink, and he's got to play this red with a bit of pace so that the white goes past that blue line so that he can be on the right side of that blue. So these are tricky pots, very missable,
13.
but Ronnie handles it like a champ. You can see Ronnie has a thickish 3/4, almost dead straight red here. Not much angle to be able to screw back and get onto the blue. So he's got to play this with screw and some running sides. So he's playing this below center and a little bit to the right in order for the cue ball to widen off of that side cushion to get up there to the blue and hopefully on the right side of it. So you can see Ronnie potted that red, but he didn't get enough screw on the white, and so consequently he's short of pace, and now he's on the wrong side of the blue. And if he wants to keep this break going, he's got to get that white in and out of bulk, avoid the bulk colors, and perhaps even have the white come slamming into that cluster of reds in order to open them up. Ronnie hit that great, but he could have had a more favorable result. He's at least on a red, but this is not an easy red to pot. This red's below the black spot, making this a more missable pot into such a closed pocket at this angle. And again, the high value balls are still out of play. So Ronnie will play for the blue and work to get on the bulk side of it, which is at least 7 feet away. So Ronnie has to pot this difficult red with pace to keep this break going.
25.
Now, with the freshly opened cluster, there are a couple of thoughts to consider, such as which reds are most strategically advantageous for break building, and which reds aren't. So the red to avoid is this bottom red along the cushion. It's missable and too far from the colors, thus making it of little advantage to pot when there are better reds to choose for building a sizable break. Also, Ronnie has to be careful with his positional play that he avoids contact with this red, as the white would get trapped down there without much of a color to shoot. So he's got to make sure he controls the white and gets on the bulk side of the blue and avoids this red along the cushion. Now for break building, this red here is the most advantageous because potting it opens the pathway for these two reds into the same pocket, and it makes the pathway for this other red into this other pocket available. So this red effectively opens up 3 other reds. Now the second best red to pot is the one closest to the pocket because it's easy and it opens the pathway for the red above it into the same pocket. So now that we know which 2 reds are important for continuing this break, the execution is still difficult since you can see that there isn't much of a gap to get onto this red, and how potting that red to get back onto the bulk side of the blue is also tricky. So lots of work required, even though he's done some hard work for this 25 break already.
21.
So not only did Ronnie get through that gap perfectly once, but he did it twice in a row to perfection, and has potted the 2 best reds, which opened up multiple pottable pathways for other reds to keep this break going. Now all Ronnie has to do to get on those reds is to be able to get the white into that
27.
neighborhood, but there is difficulty in getting into that area to get onto those reds. The angle on this blue here is too sharp to do a soft screw and hold the white. So Ronnie has to play this blue with screw and some pace and avoid that bottom red, and then have the white come up off 2 cushions back into prime position. Now, not only did Ronnie avoid that red perfectly once, but he did it twice, although this time he did overrun the white slightly
43.
and is using the green to get back into this business end of the table.
$47.
Now that he's picked off some of those open reds, there's still one at the bottom of the bunch that's in the open, but this red has a couple problems. Playing it to this pocket means having the white again avoiding this cushioned bottom red, and that's too risky compared to playing it to the opposite pocket. So playing to this pocket means he must avoid getting straight on this red, because if he does, he won't be able to do much with the white to get on a color, because if he lands straight, if he uses topspin, the white can go in off. If he plays with screw, he's likely to cannon this red. So if he's going to get on this red at the bottom of the cluster, he has to have an angle on it that can get him back onto the blue, because he really doesn't want to have a dead straight white. Must get an angle if he's going to keep this break going. Now you can see Ronnie grimacing here because he thinks he's gone straight onto this red. But look how masterfully he screws back here through this gap to get back onto the top side of this blue. You can see Ronnie here has the perfect angle on this blue to go into that little cluster of reds and disturb them. He's able to dislodge just one red, and it's a tricky one. It's below the black spot. These are not easy to pot. And again, he has to make this and make sure that he gets the white top side of the blue in order to resume this break. And again, he's on the wrong side of the blue, and he has to go in and out of bulk to get onto these freshly open reds and continue this match-winning break, which he does easily. And then after that thunderous plant, he hits the white a little bit too firm and goes past the blue, and he's got to retrieve position by potting this yellow and screwing back for that penultimate red.
74.
And Ronnie's got the perfect angle on this pink so that when he pots it, he's able to get the white right down in behind that last red. I think he's played that red with screw and a hint of running side, so he's striking the cue ball below center and just a little bit of left to help widen the angle when it comes off this cushion so it gets a little closer to that pink.
81.
And on this pink, he has an awkward angle. Normally, you just stun it and you have the cue ball come in up and around that blue line. But he's got a negative angle on this pink, so it's going to be coming on the inside of this yellow. So watch how amazingly he pots this pink and plays to get onto the yellow. That looked like top spin with some check side, so he's playing that with top spin and some left-hand siding so that the cue ball bites into the cushion twice there as it hits the side and the bulk, and then back into the side again to get plumb onto the yellow.
89.
And with the brown, he pots it easily, and with the white, he gently cannons the black, just nudging it slightly over the side pocket into a potable position. And with the pink, he plays it left-handed, and with the black, he plays it with deep screw, almost trying to have the cue ball go in off into the right center pocket. Just a fantastic achievement in break building, and I hope you enjoyed that commentary. And now we get to hear from Ronnie about this fantastic match.
But 9,000 fans, you beat Marco Fu in the final Hong Kong Masters. Just how much does that mean to you?
Unbelievable, I just forget, winning the tournament, because we win, you win tournaments and that, but to play in front of 9,000 fans is just incredible. It's like playing, I've been to watch the ATP tennis at London before, and it just felt something similar to that. It's like I've never experienced it, and I didn't ever think you would experience something like that. So it's just incredible, really. Unbelievable. Best event I've ever played in my life. Everybody's happy to see Marco come back. He's had a great tournament. He's beat two fantastic players. Pushed me all the way hard. He's had a 147 in front of his home crowd. So there was a lot of expectation and pressure for him to do well for the fans here, and he's delivered. So. It just shows you class is always there. I know he's had some time out from the game, but he's hit the ground running, he's come back strong, and I think this will give him a lot of confidence going forward,